Hi. Come on, Draco. Nova, let him go. Okay, break it up. Nova, let go of his collar. Welcome back, my friends. This is Craig, and I'm here with day 3 of Puppy Vlog. Hope you enjoyed the little playtime they're having this morning. It's probably going on 6 at this point in time on Wednesday. Been outside since about 5:30. Brought him outside to use the restroom, etc. Draco's gotten really good at getting off the deck now to pee, but pooping is still a bit of an issue on the deck. So it's solid now. He's feeling better. He doesn't have diarrhea anymore, so I've been picking it up and putting it out in the yard where I would like him to go to the bathroom, hoping he gets the hint. So right now, you might have saw in that clip, he pushed through the gate real quick. I got a gate on the deck, and so when he needs to go to the bathroom, I can lock the gate and keep him down there. And I'm out here just kind of helping him along, and well, not helping him, that doesn't sound right. I'm out down there kind of showing him where he needs to go, and all that. He's definitely feeling better. Poor little boy's out of shape. You could tell he couldn't keep up with Nova. He's still pretty obese for, you know, a puppy his size. He gets winded really easily, but he's able to keep up and run a lot longer than he was a few days ago. So we're getting there. He'll get himself into shape. Clip with Nova just running around like crazy. We call those Husky zoomies, and those are pretty common for the Husky breed. They'll just randomly do that for like 15-20 minutes, just full on sprint in circles and jump off things and parkour, and for literally no reason. It's pretty amusing. They're wrestling again, still, forever. That's their thing. It looks pretty violent. They growl, they bark, they bite, but it's just dogs showing, you know, they're playing and they're working for dominance. That's what they would do with their brothers and sisters and stuff like that in the litter. That's what they would do with the pack. They're not actually hurting each other. As soon as one of them yelps, if one of them actually does get hurt, they stop. They're pretty good about that. Occasionally it gets a little out of hand and they get pretty angry, but not too often. Not too often. Maybe once a day, and I'll have to intervene and break it up. But they're usually pretty good with each other. Another full night's sleep. We put them to bed at 12:15, and they got up at 5:30. They woke up when my wife's alarm went off, which It was understandable. So he woke up for that, and I let him out, and Nova decided to get up and come out with us, which she doesn't usually do that. Usually she sleeps till 8 or 9. Nova's got the zoomies again. But yeah, that poor boy needs some exercise. He definitely needs to get into shape. He can only run about 30-40 seconds at a go, and I mean, Nova can go hours running, but he's grossly out of shape. Got his vet appointment scheduled for this coming Friday, so we'll get him into the vet and get his vaccinations and just do an overall wellness check. His stomach is down to almost a husky contour. Like, he looks just so much better. So much better. I didn't really get a lot of photo or videos when we first brought him home. But his tummy was bigger than his chest, which, I mean, any dog breed, that's not good. And it was well beyond your typical puppy bloat type deal, so it was pretty nasty. His stomach is caved in, and he's got a definitive rib cage now. You can't fit through the gate, silly boy. I'll let you guys in after you poop. After you work off some calories. It's getting close to breakfast time. I'll probably wait a little while. This dog just inhales food. It is insane to watch him eat. He's a hoover. So I got to figure out ways to get him to slow down. I know you're hungry, buddy. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten in hours. We have a few plants that they've completely eaten in the backyard, which we were planning on digging out anyways, but I'd rather them not eat it because that definitely can't be good for them. But my son had soccer practice last night, and I was working, so they were out in the backyard for about an hour and a half on their own, and they just ate it all. It's gone. So there's that. I got to dig the rest of them out probably tomorrow. I've got my doctor's appointment this morning, so I won't be able to get a whole lot done this morning. And then I am babysitting this afternoon for a little while, so yeah, there won't be a lot accomplished today. There's my wolf mug. I removed a shrub earlier in the year when we got Nova, and wait for the white balance. They started eating the stump. They've pretty much eaten the entire stump. Oh, dogs. So they'll eat and chew on anything. Make sure if you get a puppy, especially a large breed puppy, make sure you dog proof everything and you keep an eye on them all the time. So on to Draco's overeating problem. It's not an uncommon problem for dogs to overeat. It's all about how they were raised initially. In the puppy mill where he would have came from, which I don't remember if I mentioned, it was an Amish puppy mill in Indiana. An actual puppy mill, like they advertise it as such because they're Amish and they can. They just put all the puppies into, one massive pen and, several breeds. And it sounds like this one was specifically a Husky breeder, so there would have been several litters all in the same pen, all at the same time. And generally what they'll do is they'll just have a trough of food and dump it in there. And the fastest puppy gets the food first, and you might not get food the next time, so they're kind of mentally trained to eat as much as they can. And then from there, he was allowed to free eat, which made it even worse. So they had, again, a massive trough of food that was set up for the dog at this other house, and he was still in that mindset that he needed to eat as much as possible because he didn't know when, he would get his next meal, and he had to get as much before the other dogs did, even though he was the only one. And he would gorge himself. The problem with dogs is they're not really smart enough to know to stop, especially if they get into that mentality. It's almost an obsession. So we're trying to break him of his food obsession right now, and it almost sounds like we're starving him. But he's eating 3 cups of food a day. Sunday he didn't eat at all, but he's fine. That's not it's not going to hurt a dog to go a day without food. A puppy, we gave him supplements because he is a puppy and he does need the nutrients and stuff, but he's still digesting food from the original home, and that was on Saturday. That was on Saturday. So we're on day 5 and he still has that food in his system that we're working out. I think we finally got the rest of it out last night, which is why he's solidifying his stool. But dogs aren't smart enough to know better, and dogs will literally eat themselves until they die. They will eat until their stomach ruptures. They will eat, and like literally their stomach will rip. They will eat massive quantities of food without chewing, and it'll bind up in their intestine. Hi, Nova. They'll get bowel obstructions. Oh, stop it! You're fine. They can get bloat where there's an excess buildup of gas, and the food is blocking the 2 exits that you have for gas, and they'll end up with bloat. Which can tear stomach, intestinal walls. It can start separating the membrane that holds all the intestine in spot. It'll start tearing that, and it could pinch intestine, and then would work like a bowel obstruction at that point. There's larger breeds specifically, and like Great Danes and stuff like that are especially prone to it. Their stomach can actually twist, just due to play and the fact that they generally tend to overeat. Their stomach can twist and kink off, requiring surgery, at an incredibly young age. So overeating with a puppy is not something to play around with. It's not cute. It's not funny. Like an obese puppy is a serious issue. And I seriously think Draco, had we not taken him on, I really don't think he would have survived the year. He would have eaten himself to death. He would have eaten until his stomach ruptured, and I'm not entirely sure he hasn't tore something yet. Because he does have minimal signs of digested blood in his stool, but not enough that I'm concerned and have to take him into the vet like today. We'll wait till Friday. He's not anemic or anything like that, so we can wait till Friday and let the professionals actually examine his stool sample and make sure he's okay. I'm still not convinced he doesn't have worms. He's still got some pudge on him, which hookworm and roundworm and stuff are not uncommon in puppies. You would be lucky to find a dog without worms when you get them. And I don't know if he's been dewormed, so we're just going to deworm him again if he hasn't been, and call that good. And they'll figure that out on the tests at the vet too. Training's going well. He listens better than Nova does. They're behind my deck right now. Hey, guys! Out! 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 Go! Out! Draco! Draco! Out! Nova. They're eating plants. They're herbivores now. But yeah, he's doing better. There were some questions yesterday as to whether he was a rescue. This is a longer vlog because I don't have the kids out here. It's early. I don't care. There were some kids questions yesterday as to whether it was a rescue. It was a rescue. We got him from a house just outside of downtown Chicago. Friend of a friend of a friend type deal. We heard about him. And they had another dog. So the girl went and picked Draco up from the puppy mill in Indiana without asking her mother. She's older. She's in her 20s, but she was just living at home, saving up money. And she went and picked up this dog in Indiana and brought it home. Didn't get permission or anything like that. Brought it home. Apparently, the dog that they currently owned was not a big fan and did not get along with dogs at all. And was horribly mean to Draco and violent, and not like you see them playing, like actually aggressive. So Draco got left outside for his own protection, which is why he's still a little hesitant about coming inside our house. Hey, Nova, you can't jump up on the deck. But they were planning on leaving him just in an alley in the city. They were under the impression that if you leave a dog at a shelter, they will put the dog down, and they didn't want the dog to be killed. They wanted to just leave it out in the city, and somebody will find him. They had a couple other people interested in taking him, but they wanted it on a trial basis. Like, well, if we don't like the dog, we want to be able to bring him back. Which I'm not doing that. They're not getting this dog back, even though the first 2 days she was constantly texting my wife. Constantly, is he okay? Is everything good? Is he well? So they had concern for the dog. They had care for the dog, even though they just planned on leaving it in a back alley in downtown Chicago. So that was how we got him. We texted them on Thursday and said, we found out about it on Wednesday, texted them on Thursday and said, give us 2 days, get everything in order. We'll come down on Saturday and we'll pick him up. Barring he gets along with Nova. Which they did. They got along swimmingly. So, brought him home and got him acclimated to the house. That took about 20 minutes for him to get used to the backyard and to get used to Nova and to realize that Nova wasn't going to be a threat. And then it was just getting him used to everything else. And he's still getting used to the house, but he's a lot more comfortable. His breathing was really rapid. He was at about 60 to 75 breaths per minute. Maybe even higher than that. Maybe he's pushing 100. And that's pretty high for a puppy. He should be at rest like 30 breaths per minute, and then, panting. He was panting constantly, essentially. Even when he was asleep. His breathing's calmed down and stuff. But I think a lot of that had to do with his diaphragm didn't have anywhere to go because there was so much food in his system. He could only get short breaths. Nova. He needs a break. He's fat. I've exercised her so much. She's in great shape. Like, she has just ridiculous stamina, and he's not quite there yet, but he will be. So yeah, his breathing's better and stuff, and he's a lot more calm, and he wants in the house now. Like, we don't have to entice him in. He wants to come in the house. So Nova. So yeah, he's definitely doing better. He's definitely comfortable and happy. And if you asked him, he would say we're starving him, but it's for his good. It's for his own good. He'll feel 1,000,000 times better in a couple weeks. So once his stomach shrinks and his skin goes down and stuff, he'll feel 1,000,000 times better. So yeah, there is day 3 of Puppy Vlog. There is some information on Draco and his ailments. There is some information on how we got him. I will fill you guys in tomorrow with more information as it comes along. Today is going to be the first day I leave him with someone else, so I'll have something to talk about. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.